This is gonna be a long video today. I wanted to put it all together as one. We're cutting big trees on Kenny's job here, and we hit this knob. It's kind of a southeast facing slope, and it's got huge timber on it. This stuff's got some whoppers on it, and I was using chain pudding a lot today, so I just went in and stuck magnet on the Brutus to show pudding doing its thing. Cut some whopper red oaks, cut some white oak veneer, cut some big poplar. But I thought I'm going to combine it all into one video and show y'all, even though I'm going to try to keep my editing down as short as I can. But it's going to be a long video. I'm going to try to make it interesting where y'all would like to see it if you're interested in cutting big timber and stuff like that and what we're going through. Well, I got some notes wrote down here. Today is 7/20. Had a rough start to the day. More saw trouble with pudding. Don't know if I'll ever get it down whipping my butt. Started back cutting in the woods. Slow start. Ground dried fast today. Hot and sunny. Next day, that's today. That's what we're actually starting on. Is 7/21. Hot day. Worked hard cutting and bucking huge trees. I didn't get this on here, but I actually knocked the neutral wire down on a power line this evening with the big grapple, trying to move it across the road heading over to John's. Met our wonderful neighbors. These ladies, I got them on a clip later on. You won't see these ladies for a while, but we made friends with these ladies up here. Their name is Rose and Nancy, and they are sweethearts. They latched onto our crew and they wanted to see things. They want to keep track of us and stuff, and we just freaking fell in love with them. A little bit of that footage up here later on, because they are actually starting to watch a little bit of Logger Wade to see how we're doing, just to keep up with us, because they like us as people, because they just got to meet us and hang out a little bit, and vice versa. Rose, if you and Nancy see this, thank you all for being such sweethearts. We love you guys. So, but let's get started on this big timber and see if we can get this knob down without tearing anything up or getting anybody hurt or anything like that. And let's check it out. First tree we're starting out here with is a Shoemart red oak. It's now I've cut a few trees already this morning. This is getting close to lunchtime. I finally got this video going here. We're on the knob. It's facing south, more easterly. This has got an odd amount of very large diameter trees on it. This knob had probably not necessarily specialty on this property. What happened on this property is, I'm not going to get into family history and stuff. I wouldn't do that to Kenny. Excuse me. I wouldn't do that to Kenny, but basically, long story short, is through happenstance, this property didn't get managed like it should have. trees got huge. In cutting these huge trees down, the collateral damage is pretty bad at times. You try to do your best. Now I'm marking each side of the tree there because when I get on the ground, the tree's so big I can't see where my marks are and where to keep cutting to cut all the way through this thing smooth and neat. So the mismatch, because as big a diameter as this is, mismatch on the cuts can be pretty bad. And with this tree being up off the ground like it is and stuff, and being on the hillside like it is, I gotta watch and make sure I don't get rolled over with a log or something, or if I fall down. It basically boils down to you just can't fall down. You can't have no, it's one of them times your feet can't fail you or you'll be underneath the log. But I spent most of the day, we cut most of everything by machine that I could cut, and then what's left, now every job you do differently, but on this job I worked it in a way to where me and Stevie did some hand cutting there yesterday. There it comes. Look out, look out, look out, look out. And it stopped pretty good. So me and Stevie did some hand cutting, and I went through with Brutus and did a bunch of Brutus cutting today. This morning, that's why I just now got to filming. Heck, I was cutting with Brutus this morning. Here's a nice white oak down over the hill. This is a veneer tree. And one problem I run into with this tree, you know, the trees are so heavy, physics change. When the trees get this heavy, man, you got to be careful on how you're, because momentum and pressure can really screw things up, and you don't want your fiber torn on something like this, especially. Splat. But it's got so much pressure because of the way the tree lays, and you see how the butt's in the ground? There's a little hole in the butt. And how the top is, and it's bridged that whole joint. This tree here will be hard to get. I got to buck the veneer log off, and I'm nervous about it. So what I'm going to do, even though this tree fell across the ditch and they'll have to retrieve it out later, which is a pretty heavy tree to do a retrieval type of deal, but I got to cut the top out of it before I can cut that stem to take the pressure of the top. This free span like a bridge. So the idea is to cut it all down to length and ease off of that pressure that the tree's under. See how I'm sawing down? I'm going to saw down until my saw tries to pinch. Because you want to saw down as low as you could through the compression wood. And then the last thing you want to cut is the tension wood on the very bottom. But that don't always happen that way. Sometimes life gets in the way and it can't happen. But you got to be very careful on what... See that pop? When it popped like that and then let go, that was all the pressure letting off. What happens if you do that wrong, you'll split your tree lengthways. You'll split your tree, which is the danger here. And on a veneer log, which the butt log is a veneer log. So on a veneer log, you don't want to take a chance on splitting that thing because it really hurts the value of the log. Or if you do it bad enough, it won't even be a veneer log. It'll turn into a saw log, and that just screws you out of a few dollars a foot, $1 or so a foot, or a couple dollars or whatever. Quite a bit. It can be quite a bit, especially on a veneer tree of this grade. So let's see if I get this one right, and it'll pop free without pulling anything or splitting.
about to get arrogant. You thought I was gonna bust it, didn't you? Didn't you?
Center out of it.
I didn't pull no center out of it. Yeah, I did too, didn't I? Well, center's under your foot. Whatever, Roger. How am I gonna get this shit up here? I can get Brutus down there. It's scary, but I can get in there.
Can you come right down this way?
Yeah, you can cable that, can't you? If I get him flopped up there.
I can cable if you get it flopped up there, but I gotta get my path made.
All right. I got some red oak logs. Let them try to tackle me, bastards. You carry me.
Get on my back.
All right. You got to do it all. Just got to do it all. It's hot.
Fucking air conditioner.
The saw's heavy. Air conditioner, Brutus quit. Air conditioner quit on Brutus. Oh, I got to start it back up.
You got something.
Oh.
Now, we got 2 or 3 down here we won't have to cut.
Yeah, buck up.
So I can get them out.
They veneer, red oak, what?
We got one red oak. I think there's a big white oak out there.
Okay.
And one that you cut all the butts off.
Give me. Yeah, that ain't enough.
I got it up so far that there.
Yeah, that poplar's a big old tree.
I ain't talking about poplar, I'm talking about red oak. I ain't got the poplar yet.
Oh.
When you cut over there.
Well, is it in the way? Leave it. We'll get it. When I get down with all this.
On the side. I got up over the, well, Stevie's up on the side.
Okay.
Got that far.
Okay.
So I'm going
Well, clean me out. I gotta get them 2 white oaks up there and that big red oak, and clean me out to whatever. And what I'll do is I'll just keep going around, and I'll head up that side. So clean ahead of me enough to where I can get in there and do my job.
You get some of these right here out of your way right
Yeah.
now.
I'll slowly poke my way around there. It'll take me a little bit to get that white oak out. Whatever. Whatever. Whatever, Roger.
Whatever.
I said whatever. Just for the record, I said whatever first. You know, Roger's just a big old bully.
Now, as I poke around here and getting around the hillside, I'm on the west side of this knob now. This is more westerly facing now. You're seeing a little bit warmer sight. Although the wood ain't changed a lot, I wouldn't say. Some is a little cooler on the other side. And it's a little warmer over here, but still big stuff. Still trying to get the big stuff bucked down so Big Daddy and the bulldozer and Roger and the skidder can get this stuff pulled up out of here. And they got their work cut out for them, because the way the hillside lays, it's earn your keep situation. The hill's steep, the trees are big. Hill ain't super steep, it's just steep enough to be aggravating, but the soil's deep. Steep and deep, you know what I mean? This is a white oak down here, getting ready to do this white oak. And then we'll go off on the red oak beside the road next. There's one thing that's a fact, and I promise you, situation like this is called it's called hot logging when you're cutting trees around where everybody's dragging and other people are doing their work. Now, it's bad enough cutting trees around where other people's trying to work, but when you're cutting mammoth trees or everybody's trying to work, it adds to the stress factor. So, not trying to make myself look good or anything like that. I'm definitely not. I do plenty of stuff wrong all the time, but one thing you can't do wrong, and that's not put a tree where you say it's going to go. These men that works around you, they got to be able to trust you somewhat. I don't ever want anybody to trust me totally, but you got to be predictable because you're dropping projectiles and danger out in front of everybody. So they got to know they can trust you. Because if they have to sit there and look over their back all day long or have a skidder parked all day long waiting on you to get a tree out of their way. See, this ended up this way because of these freak large trees. And with the weather pattern, I can't never get ahead. In our type of logging, we're not Westerners. In our type of logging, we got soft ground and stuff to that nature. So we can't cut way out ahead sometimes and have all the wood laying on the ground for the loggers to get here. So we're doing a lot of hot logging where you're dropping your trees while you're skidding right past where you're dropping your trees at. And when the daggone tree weighs this much, man, you got to be right. You cannot be wrong. If you're wrong, if you drop a tree, even if you don't hit nobody, if you're doing something with a tree and they look at your notch, they look at where you're going, they know where the tree should go because these are all experienced veteran loggers. And that tree don't go where they expect that to go, or what happens, what they expect to happen ain't what happens, it takes years to get that trust back. So, I mean, the last thing you want to do, not to mention the fact you're taking a chance on getting somebody hurt, is to do something unpredictable. You do not want that to happen, period. All the machines out here has fops and rops and all that stuff. Stevie's machine and Tiny, they have hillbilly add-on fops, which is fall and object protection, added by the company. So it ain't all perfect, but it's pretty good. It's based off of, it should be good. It's built heavier than the skidders in the cab. But you don't want stuff tore up. One crucial resource you can't never replace, and that's time. So if you screw up something, it'll take you time to fix it. Not to mention taking a chance on getting somebody hurt, which chances are nobody, well, I wouldn't say that. This is logging. There's always a chance somebody's gonna get hurt. But my only point is, I know I'm rattling, but my only point is you got to be right dropping these trees. They got to go where you want them to go. If they're not going to go there, you better stop, get some help, get another machine or so on it to make sure, and then it better go where it's supposed to go. But a tree that don't go where it's supposed to go is not okay. tired. That's a big old sweet gun there. The Stevie's loading. That must be one. Oh, I remember them trees. Yep. I think I had them thrown down the bottom from the last round. Maybe not.
Roger, I can help you with a couple of these gums down here if you want to back down here and pick them up, then I'll help you with that one. You ain't going to move it on your own, are you? Oh, I can. Well, let me get behind you then, okay?
Stevie got a hose hanging pretty low where.
I think it's on a USI. That'll work anyhow. Take what, Joanne? Now, besides him, I got a focal truck here below number and this side of the Okay, no problem. You got that one, Roger. You'll easily get the other. I didn't do that one. Try to cut off small.
Shit. Made a mistake on that one. Had a dull saw, white oak. Blade died out on me too quick. That I don't know what that costed, but it wasn't cheap. It was a mistake I shouldn't have made. No good.
Okay.
yeah, I hope y'all like this. This was just, didn't know how to put this together. It's just a day of hot cutting and cleaning up logs and stuff like that, and getting done over here on Kenny's, the first part of Kenny's job here, and getting things tidied up and getting it finished up. And but I didn't know how to put it together. Took forever to edit. That's a little ash tree there he's pulling out. A little white ash. Just a mist tree down the hole. Now you gotta watch when you pull a tree out and around a corner. I didn't get it showed real good here. Roger kind of pulled that around the corner and then let it off. Don't go in there and top a tree that somebody's pulled around the corner. I've seen people's legs swept out from under them. I watched a guy do a somersault one time. Hit his knees backwards. Should have broke both kneecaps backwards, it looked to me like. Tree did a full flip. This guy was like 6'4". I mean, it's a big boy. Well, he's over 6 foot and he was 250 pounds probably. And I watch him do a backflip, a full forward flip, land on his feet, which he fell down to his knees in, holding the chainsaw the whole time. And the chainsaw still running. Didn't even know what hit him. You know what I mean? Tree flung out there and got him. We couldn't get him stopped. I was screaming at him, and he done stepped in there and whoop. I seen. Not that was funny, but he didn't break his legs. I don't see how. And he didn't even jump. Like I always figured, if you get it, jump. At least get your leg picked up off the ground, so when it hits you, it don't try to break your kneecaps backwards. But he didn't jump. I seen the whole thing go down. I was trying to run to stop him, and he didn't jump. It just hit him. Whop, forward flip he did, and then landed on the opposite side of the tree he started on, still holding his chainsaw. But then he fell on the ground. You know, he couldn't stay. But it did. He did a full flip around. That tree made him do a full somersault and hit on his feet. And then, of course, he fell down to his knees. But hope y'all like this. Everybody leave me likes, comments on that mess. And everybody have a wonderful day. And don't forget to smile.